very good evening and welcome to the news tonight, where we get you the day's top stories. I'm Tracy Shilshi and here are the headlines. Income tax raids against Karnataka minister resonate in Rajya Sabha. Congress accuses the government of misusing state agencies to keep an eye on the Gujarat Congress MLA staying at a Bengaluru resort. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley strongly denies any link. The Income Tax Department conducts searches at multiple locations in Delhi and Karnataka related to the Karnataka Energy Minister D.K. Shivakumar. Officials claim they recovered 9 crore rupees cash in the searches. Softening inflation prompts Reserve Bank of India to slash repo rate by 25 basis points at 6%. The rate is the lowest since November 2010. RBI keeps growth forecast unchanged at 7.3% for current fiscal. And China releases a 15-page statement rejecting India's stand on ongoing border standoff in Doklam near the India-China-Bhutan tri-junction, demands immediate and unconditional withdrawal of Indian troops from the area. Our top story this evening, the issue of income tax raids against the Karnataka minister on Wednesday morning resonated in Rajya Sabha. Congress accused the government of misusing state agencies to keep an eye on Congress MLAs staying at the resort where the raids took place. But Finance Minister Arun Jaitley hit back and clarified that there was no link between the Karnataka IT raids and the Gujarat Rajya Sabha polls. Here are more details.
Opposition Congress upping the ante against the government in the upper house on Wednesday. Party MPs claimed that IT searches were conducted at a Bengaluru resort where Congress MLAs from Gujarat were staying since July 30th. Deputy Leader of the Congress in the Rajya Sabha, Anand Sharma, questioned the timing of the IT raids on the Karnataka minister coordinating the stay of the Gujarat MLAs.
Our grave concerns over the attempt to derail and hijack elections to the Council of States.
That is already raised here.
State authority and power.
You cannot raise it every day.
Because the MLAs were being abducted,
you cannot raise it every day.
Location. Now in Bangalore, where the MLAs are there, since morning they have started income tax raids and ED raids and against the Congress ministers.
Leader of opposition Ghulam Nabi Azad claimed that the residences of BJP leaders allegedly indulging in horse trading needed to be searched as well.
जो आपकी पार्टी के लोग पैसे बांट रहे हैं उन पे रेड करो। ये जो 15 करोड़ लोग 15 करोड़ ऑफर कर रहे हैं उन पे उनके घर पे रेड करो। ये इलेक्शन फ्री एंड फेयर होने चाहिए एंड विदाउट फेयर होने चाहिए। ये इंश्योर करना पड़ेगा इस सदन को और इलेक्शन कमीशन को। ये इलेक्शन के दौरान जब इलेक्शन प्रोसेस शुरू हो रहा है 3 दिन इलेक्शन को रहे और डराने के लिए धमकाने के लिए आप गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की तमाम एजेंसियां इस्तेमाल की, अब गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की एजेंसियां इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं। ये देश में क्या हो रहा है? ये लोकतंत्र के खिलाफ।
Delivering a sharp rebuttal, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley clarified that no search operation was conducted at the resort in Karnataka where Gujarat Congress MLAs have been staying. The concerned individual was, however, taken to his residence and questioned.
At the resort, no search at the resort has taken place. No search on any MLA has taken place. A particular minister of Karnataka was being searched. Since he had gone and parked himself in the resort certainly is not an immunity area where he can get an immunity from the laws. And therefore, they have gone there to take him to his residence. He has been now taken to his residence and is being interrogated at his residence.
Jaitley's clarification failed to douse the dissent, though, as Congress members moved into the well of the House. Amid sharp verbal exchanges between the Treasury benches and the Congress members, the chair adjourned the House for 10 minutes.
House is adjourned for 10 minutes.
Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha Television.
We'll get you more details on those raids, but first, staying with Rajya Sabha, it was adjourned for the day soon after it assembled post-lunch on Wednesday as Congress members raised the pitch against the government. However, the company's amendment bill was moved amid the din.
When the House assembled at 2 p.m, Congress member Pramod Tiwari objected to the centre sending paramilitary forces to Bengaluru along with income tax officials.
फेडरल स्ट्रक्चर है इस देश का, राज्य के अपने अधिकार हैं
राज्य के अपने अधिकार, केंद्र के अपने अधिकार। ये कौन सी तानाशाही है कि आप केंद्रीय बलों को बंगलौर में भेजेंगे, उस जगह पे भेजेंगे जहां पर हमारे एमएलए हो।
MOS Parliamentary Affairs Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi reiterated that the centre's fight against corruption shall continue.
जो करप्ट है वो करप्ट है। ये करप्शन के क्रांतिकारी जो इकट्ठा हुए हैं, ये करप्शन जो लोग करप्शन में उनको बचाओ, तो आप बचने वाले नहीं है। करप्शन का कोई भी कोने में करप्शन और ब्लैक मनी वाला होगा, वो बचेगा नहीं।
Amidst the din, MOS for Finance Arjun Ram Meghwal moved the Companies Amendment Bill 2017 to amend the Companies Act 2013 as passed by Lok Sabha.
My senior colleague, Honorable Finance Minister Sri Arun Jaitley, I rise to move that the bill further to amend the Companies Act 2013 as passed by Lok Sabha be taken into consideration.
With no visible respite, the chair first adjourned the House for 15 minutes, then till Thursday.
Adjourned till 11 hours on Thursday, the 3rd August 2017.
With inputs from Vishal Daya and Panchanan Mishra, Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, the issue of income tax raids on Karnataka Minister D.K. Shivakumar reverberated in Lok Sabha as well, even as the Congress party alleged that these raids were part of a bigger political conspiracy. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley clarified that the offending minister hid at a resort when the raids began. He also claimed that several documents were being destroyed when officials reached the resort.
किसी रिजॉर्ट पे या किसी गुजरात के एमएलए पे कोई सर्च टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट की नहीं हुई, उनसे कोई संपर्क नहीं हुआ। ये बात सच है कि कर्नाटक सरकार के एक मंत्री और उनके सहयोगियों के ऊपर कोई इनकम टैक्स की सर्च हुई है। 39 स्थानों पर वो सर्च चल रही है। जब सर्च चलती है, रिकवरीज होती हैं, तो जिस व्यक्ति के खिलाफ होती है उसको किया जाता है, उसका बयान लिया जाता है। उनसे संपर्क करना अब वही संभव था जहां जाकर वो छुपे थे। टैक्स के अधिकारी इसलिए उनका स्टेटमेंट लेना और उनको वहां से अपने घर ले जाना केवल इस पर्पस के लिए रिजॉर्ट में गए। जब वहां पहुंचे तो वे व्यक्ति वहां पर कागज फाड़ रहे थे। वो फटे हुए कागज भी और जो डॉक्यूमेंट्स फाड़ रहे थे वो भी पंचनामा में रिकवर हुए। उनको वहां से लेकर उनके घर पे चले गए। आज इस वक्त वहां पर कोई इनकम टैक्स का अधिकारी नहीं है।
इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट को यूज करके ये कर्नाटक में जो ईगल रिसोर्ट में एमएलए थे, 42 एमएलए, उन एमएलए के डरा के, धमका के, टेरराइज करके वहां पर ईडी के लोगों को वहां पर भेजा है।
Well, the Income Tax Department did conduct the searches at multiple properties of Karnataka Energy Minister D.K. Shivakumar on Wednesday. Raids were also conducted at the minister's Delhi residence, from where taxmen claim to have recovered at least 9 crore rupees in cash. The opposition Congress questioned the timing of these raids, which come at a time when Shivakumar is hosting a team of the Congress MLAs from Gujarat to prevent defections ahead of the Rajya Sabha elections on the 8th of August.
A slew of raids conducted by the Income Tax Department on the properties of Karnataka Energy Minister D.K. Shivakumar in Bengaluru and Delhi. Searches were also conducted at the Eagleton Resort in Bengaluru, where Shivakumar had been hosting 44 party MLAs from Gujarat. The IT department said the searches were in connection with the tax evasion case against the Congress minister. The party, however, alleged a political witch hunt by the centre.
Clear case of political vendetta, because they are not informed the state police. They didn't inform the state police, and without informing the state police, they are doing, because of they can do now after the finance bill, they put a provision on like these, all this agencies as used for political vendetta, for attacking political enemies and opposition parties.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी जो राज्यसभा चुनाव में गुजरात में कुछ नहीं कर पाया, हमारा एमएलएस को पोचिंग करने का कोशिश किया। जब एमएलएस अपना इस पे दूर चले गया तो उधर जाके सेंट्रल फोर्सेस को मिसयूज करके, हमारा एमएलएस को थ्रेटन करके और कांग्रेस लीडर्स को टेरराइज करके ये लोग अपना जीत हासिल करने का कोशिश कर रहा है। और ये जो नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार, जो केंद्र सरकार के जो पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेस है, उसको यूज कर रहा है हमारे एमएलएस को थ्रेटन करने के लिए। ऐसा टेरराइज करने के लिए कुछ फायदा नहीं होगा।
अरे कानून नियम सब तोड़ के आप वहाँ जाके ये सरकारी तानाशाही और गुंडागर्दी से आप क्या सोचते कि हम डरेंगे? महंगा पड़ेगा ये सौदा.
Congress leader and political advisor to Sonia Gandhi, Ahmed Patel, said the income tax rate showed the utter desperation of the BJP to win one seat in the upcoming Rajya Sabha polls in Gujarat. Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah described it as a political conspiracy. In a series of tweets, he accused the BJP of vindictive politics and said his party won't bow down to intimidation. Congress workers even staged a protest in Bengaluru. The centre, however, maintained that it's just action against corruption.
यदि कोई करप्शन ब्लैक मनी में उलझा हुआ है, वो कांग्रेस पार्टी उलझी हुई है और इन सारे विषयों के ऊपर यदि एजेंसीज पूरा इंफॉर्मेशन के साथ और पूरा तथ्यों के साथ वो एक्शन करेंगे, कार्यवाही करेंगे और बाकी विषय करेंगे, then it is an action against corruption.
Widely seen as the chief troubleshooter for the Karnataka Congress, D.K. Shivakumar was tasked to look after the MLAs from Gujarat by the party's central leadership. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, the Gujarat Congress on Wednesday moved the Supreme Court against the Election Commission's decision to introduce nota in the upcoming Rajya Sabha polls. The Supreme Court has agreed to hear the plea on Thursday. Senior advocate Kapil Sibal told the Apex Court that there is no statutory provision with regard to nota in the Constitution. Meanwhile, BJP has urged the Election Commission to withdraw the directive for use of nota in the upcoming Rajya Sabha polls from Gujarat. A delegation led by senior party leader Bhupendra Yadav and Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi met Chief Election Commissioner and submitted a memorandum in this regard. The BJP said that the use of nota has become an issue of debate among the political parties and therefore a proper consensus should be made.
अभी जो राज्यसभा के चुनाव में नोटा जो बैलेट पेपर्स पे डाला गया है उसको लेकर के कई तरह के कन्फ्यूज़न खड़े हुए हैं, क्योंकि राज्यसभा का चुनाव इनडायरेक्ट होता है और इनडायरेक्ट चुनाव में नोटा का प्रोविज़न जो मूल भावना है राज्यसभा के चुनाव की उसको कहीं ना कहीं नुकसान पहुंचाता है। इसको लेकर हम लोगों ने मांग की है कि नोटा तत्काल ख़त्म किया जाना चाहिए और यही नोटा ख़त्म करना निष्पक्ष भयमुक्त माहौल में चुनाव के लिए ज़रूरी है।
Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan bid a formal farewell to Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari on Wednesday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Vice President's wife Salma Ansari were also present on the occasion. At the dinner function in Parliament House, Speaker Sumitra Mahajan also presented mementos to the Vice Presidential couple. The guests at the farewell included several BJP chief ministers and many opposition leaders.
मैडम नीचे डाउन नीचे सर ये किसके लिए नहीं वो दोनों के लिए था।
Heading on to other news, the Reserve Bank of India slashed repo rate by 25 basis points on Wednesday. Softening inflation prodded the RBI to lower the repo rate to the lowest since November 2010. RBI has also kept the growth forecast unchanged at 7.3% for the current fiscal. Here are more details.
The RBI Monetary Panel has paved the way for a possible reduction in EMIs of housing and car loans. In RBI's third bi-monthly policy review this year, repo rate was slashed by 25 basis points to 6 from 6.25%. The RBI also cut reverse repo rate, the rate at which the central bank borrows money from commercial banks, by 25 basis points to 5.75% from 6%. The quantum of cut on Wednesday was, however, not unanimous. 4 members of RBI's Monetary Policy Committee voted to cut rates by 25 basis points, 1 voted for a 50 basis points cut, and 1 voted for leaving rates unchanged.
Based on the outturns and our projections going forward, and we felt that a 25 basis point cut while keeping the stance neutral was something that we should be doing at this juncture.
The central bank also noted that a normal monsoon coupled with effective supply management measures may keep food inflation in check. It also said that prices of LPG and kerosene are set to rise with the calibrated reduction in subsidy, cautioning that the implementation of farm loan waivers by states may result in possible fiscal slippages.
New lending, the transmission has been much stronger, especially in those segments where there is a lot of competition. So, housing loans and personal loans where the NBFCs also play a big part.
However, the rate cut failed to enthuse markets as the Sensex and Nifty ended lower after hitting record highs earlier in the day. The Sensex ended down by 98.43 points at 32,476.74 and the 50-share NSE Nifty closed lower by 33.15 points at 10,081.50. The cut in rates comes against the backdrop of slowing credit growth and low inflation. RBI last changed policy rate with a 25 basis points cut in October last year. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Now to Jammu and Kashmir, where the police will approach the Pakistan High Commission to hand over the body of Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorist Abu Dujana, who was gunned down in Kashmir on Tuesday. The state police headquarters will approach the Home Ministry to take up the matter with the Pakistani High Commission. It will be the first time that the office will be asked to claim the body of a terrorist killed in Kashmir Valley. Dujana was killed in a well-planned operation by a joint team of the Jammu and Kashmir Police, the Army and CRPF in Pulwama district of South Kashmir. And here are more updates from across the country in Nationwide. Goa Chief Minister Manohar Parrikar filed the nomination for the Panji Assembly bypoll that is slated to be held on the 23rd of August. The bypolls follow the resignation of BJP's sitting MLA Siddharth Kunkolyankar and Congress's Vishwajit Rane from the Panji and Valpoi seats. The Supreme Court today upheld the conviction of former UP Chief Secretary Neera Yadav in a land allotment scam from 1993-95 in Noida, but reduced her jail term from 3 to 2 years. The CBI alleged that Yadav, a 1971 batch IAS officer, was Chief Executive Officer of Noida in 1995 when she violated norms in allotting a prime plot of land to an industrialist. Former Union Minister and Senior Congress leader Santosh Mohan Dev passed away in Silchar. He was 86. Santosh Dev was Union Minister for Heavy Industries and Public Enterprise in the first UPA government led by Dr. Manmohan Singh. He was elected to Lok Sabha 7 times since 1980, 5 times from Silchar and twice from Tripura. With that, a quick break here. Up next, we get you international news. Stay with us.
Nitish Kumar's entry into the NDA fold. Will you see it as a victory of the NDA or will you see it as a victory of Nitish Kumar?
Well, both. It was a very bold decision on the part of Nitish Kumar.
Nitish Kumar was one person who foisted an entire anti-BJP kind of a coalition, and he had been harping over the fact that we should see a Sangh-Mukt Bharat.
Whatever may be the personal philosophy of Nitish Kumar, but that was no way in consonance to the philosophy of Lalu Yadav.
Lalu Yadav says that he trusted Nitish blindly but got betrayal in return. Is BJP also not scared that maybe the party faces the same kind of a music?
We are not anticipating things, and I believe he's a performer.
Watch to the point with Minister of State for Skill Development and Entrepreneurship Rajiv Pratap Rudy only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. Let's get you some news now on the China-India border standoff. And China has once again warned India to immediately pull back its troops from Doklam in the Sikkim section to resolve the current standoff. It also issued a 15-page statement with details and images questioning India's stand in the ongoing border dispute since it began on the 16th of June.
China on Wednesday released a 15-page statement rejecting India's stand on the ongoing border standoff in Doklam near the India-China-Bhutan tri-junction. It also demanded immediate and unconditional withdrawal of Indian troops from the area. The document maintained that Beijing had no issues with Bhutan, but this was of no concern to India. Beijing's statement accuses India of interfering and using Bhutan as a pretext to impeding its boundary talks. It also warned that China will take all measures to defend its territorial sovereignty. The statement claims that India is trespassing into a region that China sees as its territory. It also states that over 400 Indian troops had on June 18th advanced over 180 meters into Chinese territory. Beijing further dismisses India's claims that China was attempting to change the status quo by building a road. On June 30th, India claimed that China's road building had changed the status quo in the region. On Tuesday, Chinese President Xi Jinping said China will not allow anyone to split its territory and damage its sovereignty. He added that it informed India in advance about its road building activity in Doklam.
सबसे बड़े इन्वेडर तो वो खुद हैं। साउथ चाइना सी में, ईस्ट चाइना सी में उन्होंने ताइवान की, फिलीपींस की, ब्रुनाई की, वियतनाम की, जापान की ज़मीन को हथियाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, इंटरनेशनल वाटर्स को, इंटरनेशनल एयर स्पेस को। यहाँ जो ये डोकलाम वाली ज़मीन है, ये भूटान की है। वो 1636 की ट्रीटी का जिक्र करते हैं, लेकिन जो बाद की ट्रीटीज़ है 1988 और 1998 भूटान के साथ में और जो हिंदुस्तान के 2012 उसको पूरा नज़रअंदाज कर रहे हैं।
The armies of both India and China are engaged in a standoff since June 16th in the Sikkim sector of the border. Doklam is disputed between China and Bhutan, while ally India backs Bhutan in its claims. Located on the Tri-Junction, Doklam is of strategic importance to China, India and Bhutan. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The World Bank has asserted that India and Pakistan have agreed to reconvene in September over the Indus Waters Treaty. The bank added that the secretary-level discussions between India and Pakistan held in Washington this week took place in the spirit of goodwill and cooperation. It further added that both the parties have agreed to continue discussions and reconvene in September in Washington, D.C. The two countries last held talks over the treaty in March this year during the meeting of the Permanent Indus Commission in Pakistan. Pakistan had approached the World Bank last year, raising concerns over the designs of two hydroelectricity projects located in Jammu and Kashmir. On the other hand, India had asked for the appointment of a neutral expert to look into the issues, contending the concerns Pakistan raised were technical ones. China has formally opened its first overseas military base in Djibouti. A flag-raising ceremony and military parade was held to mark the occasion that was timed to coincide with the 90th founding day of the People's Liberation Army. The construction of the military base in Djibouti was started in 2016. The base will be used to resupply Navy ships taking part in peacekeeping and humanitarian missions off the coasts of Yemen and Somalia in particular. Djibouti also hosts troops from the US, France and Japan. A suicide attack at a packed mosque in the Afghan province of Herat killed at least 30 people and wounded more than 60 on Tuesday. The attack, which took place in the Javadia Mosque, coincided with evening prayers when the mosque was packed with about 300 worshippers. Officials said that there were at least two attackers, one a suicide bomber and the other who shot at worshippers with a firearm. The death toll in the attack is likely to go up. No group has yet claimed responsibility for the attack. Terror group Taliban denied any involvement and condemned the attack. The explosion comes at a day after an attack on the Iraqi embassy in Kabul, which was claimed by the terrorist group Islamic State. More than 1,700 civilians have been killed in attacks in Afghanistan this year.
اضافه‌تر از 20 شهید داریم و اضافه‌تر از 30 زخمی که از جمله از این زخمی‌ها 10 واقعی از اینا حالت وخیم دارند.
And here are more international news updates in Global Buzz. The US does not seek to topple the government of North Korea and would like to have a dialogue with Pyongyang at some point. As per sources, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said that the US is not seeking a regime change and has not even accelerated reunification of the peninsula. He also mentioned that there is no such enmity, but the threat North Korea is presenting is unacceptable. The U.S. Senate confirmed former Justice Department lawyer Christopher Wray as FBI chief nearly 3 months after the agency's previous director, James Comey, was fired by President Donald Trump. Wray, who was confirmed by a 92-5 vote, will take charge of the law enforcement agency as it conducts a federal probe into allegations of collusion between the Trump presidential campaign and Russia. Diplomatic tensions between the US and Russia have escalated following the US Congress approval of sanctions against Russia and Russia's decision to reduce US diplomatic staff in Russia. President Vladimir Putin announced a ban on the US embassy using specific property in Moscow. The Kremlin has also ordered the seizure of a diplomatic warehouse used by the US embassy for storage. President Donald Trump is said to have signed the legislation but has said that it was very flawed. Former member of Pakistan's National Assembly Aisha Gulalai has alleged that the chairman of Pakistan's Tehreek-e-Insaf, Imran Khan, sent her inappropriate text messages. Gulalai announced that she is leaving on the grounds that the honor of women is not safe within the party. She said that she felt very safe when she was a member of Pakistan People's Party, as the party respected its women members. That's all we have for you on the news tonight. From the entire team here, good night.